The bad news for Raptor fans, teams that go down 3-0 are 0-129 in those series over the course of the NBA playoffs, the history of the NBA playoffs, with only 3 times, Sherm, a Game 7 even being forced. But the Raptors have the attitude of, well, why not us and why not now? And before you can get 4, you need to get 1, and people will look at it. You don't need 4 games, you need 1 game 4 times. How do you go about getting 1, Sherm?
Well, this speaks to the fact that you got to creep, you crawl, you walk, you run, and you can't look at the amount of games that you need to win. It's just this game, and it's possession by possession. And as difficult as that sounds to block everything out, that's where you have to be from a mental perspective, understanding that if you don't get the first one, you can't worry about the second one. It's got to be a play-by-play process, and that's how I feel you kind of keep that desperate but not to panic.
Right.
And if you play desperate basketball with the right mentality, but you don't panic, you have a chance to win the game. Everything's on the line right now. The Raptors have nothing to lose at this point, so they've got to play as hard as they can, as long as they can in this game to get themselves a win. And if Cleveland's coming into this game trying to close it out, you've got to know, if you're the Raptors, that you're going to take some blows in this game, but you've got to withstand them. Kind of like we saw in the 4th quarter, where they continually took some hits, but they continued to fight back and gave themselves a chance to win that game in Game 3.
No question, Sherm. They need to play with that, as you say, that controlled desperation, that heightened sense of urgency. And when you look at the way Toronto has played, they have played well. I mean, they're down 3-0, but they lost 2 games by a total of 3 points. In control, full control of one of those games. And it's the margin of error that is so slim. Dwayne Casey talking about how you can't give extra possessions, and we can look at everything from missed assignments, close calls, all of those things. And people say one play doesn't make a game, but in a way it does, because it's one play here, one play there, and you go back and you look back at them. If you could turn it around, it might be a different result. The Raptors have to have that in mind, the urgency, as you said, of each possession going into this game.
Well, they do it, and we all fully understand that they are going to make mistakes, but it's about mistake management. And, you know, you've got to limit the amount of mistakes you make and can't have them run into other plays. And one thing the Raptors can really do a better job is taking care of the basketball. They don't need to turn the ball over and give Cleveland extra opportunities, much less allow Cleveland to score off those opportunities. So I just think that, you know, going into this game that there's going to be tension, there's going to be stress. There are going to be things that don't go your way, but you've got to manage those situations. You've got to limit those and make sure they don't turn into other problems. And I think for the Raptors, a laser focus for them should be possession by possession, maximizing what they get offensively. And on the defensive end, this is where a lot more control can be exercised. You can go out there and lay it all on the line defensively and do everything and anything. And this is a game where the hustle plays matter. The loose balls, the 50-50 balls, the rebounding on the defensive glass, all those situations, those battles have to be won by the Raptors.
All right, let's hear what Dwayne Casey and the players had to say after practice.
We've been in all 3 games. We've had chances to win pretty much all 3 games, being up in some of the games. So we're right there. We're competing. We just got to do a little bit more, make a couple more plays, and I think we'll be in good shape.
What it takes to understand, looking at the games, watching the films of, we were just talking like games 1 and 3 especially. Just there's ways. There's a way. There's time, as long as we got another game, obviously. And it's just about stepping out on that floor and continuing to fight and wanting to fight.
I haven't given up on our team. I think we have a group of guys that are warriors, you know, and I know they're going to bounce back. As far as the fight, I love what we did the other night, and we cut down that 17 turnovers, get it down to our normal 12, 13, somewhere in there, and it's a different ball game. So it feels like you know you're down 3-0, but you don't give up on this group, because we've been resilient the entire season.
All right, so you can see the Raptors try and stay alive tonight, 8:30 on TSN, and hear it on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.